Look, it's a yolk ball, Nor.
Hi.
Yolk ball. Good morning, guys. It's breakfast time here at the house. I have my coffee. I forgot to prep more of my cold brew last night, so Josh made a pot of hot coffee before he went to work. So I'm just having coffee with some half and half, a little bit of honey and a pinch of salt for sweet and salty. And then this week is actually spring break, so Lila's home all week with Nora and I and off school. So one of her favorite go-tos, they're over there eating breakfast right now, are yolk bowls. And we haven't made these in a while. So we just did our base was some peanut butter and honey oats. I make our oats just by adding a little bit of water and putting them in the microwave usually. And then we topped ours with some plain unfat Greek yogurt, some fresh wild blueberries. I feel like the flavor to me reminds me of like peanut butter and jelly since you have the peanut butter and blueberries. There's so many ways you can mix a yolk bowl up. You can switch out different kinds of fruit. You can add some of the Jell-O pudding mix flavors into your yogurt to make like a different flavored yogurt. I've used cheesecake flavor in there before, or pistachio, which is really good too. Sometimes we use honey for our sweetener. Sometimes use maple syrup. You can add chia seeds or flaxseed or anything else to add any little micronutrients you want. We went pretty simple this morning because it's a little bit later in the morning already. It's after 9, which is kind of late for my kiddos to eat breakfast. Although I did sneak a quick protein shake in first thing this morning when I woke up with Nora around 6:30 a.m. So I did go ahead and pump up my day with 30 grams of protein and only 150 calories first thing this morning. But our first few days of spring break have been very busy. We did a day at the beach. We've been to the zoo. We had a play date with friends. So this morning we just took a rest and now we're having a little bit of a slow wake up. So good morning. I have a little bit of bread prep to do for the fam this morning. This is some bagel dough I made last night and it's been sitting proofing on the counter. That's ready to be shaped and turned into bagels. And then this is just a loaf of white sourdough sandwich bread. I just use my regular one-day sourdough bread recipe and I shape it and put it into a loaf pan to be sliced for sandwiches. This one I got shaped in the fridge last night. I had it covered in saran wrap in the fridge. I took that off this morning about 30 minutes ago. I like to let this come to room temp on the counter for an hour or two before I bake it. I let this cool for like 20 minutes and I was about to use a knife to loosen it up and I didn't even need it. It slid right out. Perfect release this time. All right, some bread prep done for the rest of the week. While I was waiting for the bread to cool, Lila and Nora and I, we all got dressed for the day. We dressed and ready?
Yep.
All right, we gotta get out of here. They're going a little bit nuts. They've been doing crafts and playing with the toys in the playroom while I did some of that prep this morning and folded some laundry, just little things around the house. But we need to get out of here. They are like at each other a little bit. We are midway through break and it's been a lot of togetherness. So I need a couple things for dinner tonight. So I think we're gonna head over to...
We're gonna get Happy Meals.
Yes, I also promised them. They got to pick one day this week that they got a fun lunch out and they picked today. Hey, what happened? How did that happen? Were you playing with the water?
Yeah.
That wasn't a good choice. Oh, well, we were all ready. Nora, were you playing with the water? She was dressed and ready, and I left her unattended for all of 30 seconds, and she was playing with the water, and now I need to go change her shirt again. It's been one of those days. Let's get Nora changed and get out of the house. All right, all dry now? Give me a spin. Nice. All right, you're all ready to go?
Yep.
Give me a spin. Look at her with her big girl hair clipping bun, guys. I can't. She's getting too big. Lila, who said you could grow up and get big?
No.
I don't like it. We only need a couple staples to get us through the rest of the week. So here, there's our Aldi quarter. Nora, hold my hand. All right, let's go into Aldi.
I'm going.
And then pull it out. Yep, and pull the card out.
I'm sitting. No.
Good job.
Push me.
All right.
Happy.
Oh my goodness. Come on, you two. Some silly bugs decided they wanted to ride instead of walk. How much do you guys cost? You're in my cart. Do I need to pay for you before we leave?
Yeah, no.
How much are you?
Free.
You're free. What a deal.
You're on sale.
You're on sale. More carrots. I feel like these are one of the only vegetables I can reliably get the two of these guys to eat. Some mushrooms. Green onions. I told both girls they get to pick a new snack for the week to help keep us occupied. Nora picked. Nora, you want Pop Pop? Hold it gentle. And Lila, which one did you want? Peanut butter crackers? Let's go find the peanut butter crackers.
I can grab the tallest one.
Okay, sit down. And some bench straws, because why not? I should have bought more maple syrup when I was at Costco the other week, and I didn't realize we were so close to being out. So this will carry us over to our next Costco trip. One of the reasons I wanted to pop by Aldi, I heard they had this this is supposed to be like the Trader Joe's cannoli dip. This is not something that's typically on my meal plan right now, but for 2 tablespoons, 90 calories, and I've seen people use this to make a cold foam for their cold brew. So if I'm just using regular cold brew and making a cold foam out of this to put on top as all the sweetener in my coffee, I think that'll still work in my calorie deficit, and it'll be a little something different. When I saw the video on TikTok showing how to make the cold foam out of this Aldi cannoli dip, I showed it to Josh. He loves cannolis. He's my Italian husband, and he definitely loves cannoli and all sorts of Italian desserts. Yes, you're Italian just like Dad. But he definitely wanted to try it too, so I told him I'd look for it when we were here, and we found it. Before you go running out to try this, I wanted to put this plug in from the next morning when I made some cold brew with the cold foam on top. The dip frothed up nicely with a little bit of half and half to make the cold foam. However, once I mixed it in, I lost all flavor of cannoli. It just tasted like a sweet cream cold brew. So before you go running out looking for it, it was a good idea in theory, but it just does not come across as a cannoli flavored coffee when you actually put it all together. We just drove through McDonald's. I got the girls a little treat. Use the app. I did today, and I got $1.50 off one of the Happy Meals, so that was a great deal. I was gonna make myself lunch at home today, but we were out and about. I was like, okay, let me see if there are any options for me at McDonald's. I haven't really eaten takeout almost at all since I switched over to doing more animal-based whole foods eating, just because it's easier to make my own meals at home. But I did see a little hack, and it looks like it worked. I ordered a McDouble cheeseburger. I did extra pickles, extra onions, add lettuce, no bun. So it ended up being like a little burger bowl, and it looks like it worked pretty good. So we're taking this home. Obviously it's a little bit messy. We're not gonna eat in the car. We're heading home anyway. I'll be able to eat this with a fork and knife, and it's kind of like a little burger salad. And then I also got a Diet Coke. Home with our McDonald's. I was getting the girls all set up, and I noticed they even threw in a fork and knife with my bowl. So I'm sure this is pretty common that people just order something without the bun if you're cutting back on carbs or watching a calorie deficit. Careful, eat over your little mat so Millie doesn't get it. Millie will jump for that hamburger. Millie, stinker, who hasn't even eaten her breakfast. I saw your breakfast is still in your bowl. Why haven't you eaten yet? Well, no, she wants mommy to go take her for a WALK. We're going after lunch. We're going after lunch, I promise. She does this sometimes. She food strikes until you take her for a nice big walk. Don't ya? Don't ya, buddy? All right, here's how my burger bowl looks. So it's just the patties. They put a whole bunch of lettuce on the side, so I'll cut this up. As I was sitting here eating, I was able to go online. McDonald's.com has a really good nutrition calculator where you can select any item and edit it, and it'll show you the full nutrition breakdown. So I was able to find a double cheeseburger, remove the bun from it, and this calculated out my little burger bowl I had was 280 calories, 19 grams of protein, 6 carbs, and 20 grams of fat. So now I have that information. I can plug it into my MyFitnessPal and keep tracking with the rest of my day for my calorie deficit. She made it. Did you make it for your walk, Mills? Happy girl. Getting in that sunshine. Hey guys, all right, we just got back from taking Millie on a little walk through the neighborhood. Josh and I are going to be doing shrimp fried rice tonight. I was putting the recipe and everything into my MyFitnessPal app on my phone, and it is gonna push me over my carb percentage goals, like by a little bit today, but I'm definitely still way under for my calorie deficit. So it's a little give and take. I feel like by the end of the week, my stuff normally balances out. Some days are lower carb, some days are a little bit higher. It's still lower carb for what I had been eating prior to kind of switching up on my calorie deficit this year and doing more whole foods animal based. Normally I try to stick with my macros being my calories, which are 1850 for the day. It's 30% of my calories of the day come from protein, 50% from fats, and 20% from carbs. I'm gonna be almost more equal around like that 30 to 35% for each category today, but that's just how today shook out. I'm gonna do the first part of that meal, which is making some white jasmine rice on the stovetop, because normally it's best to use like day old or leftover rice for fried rice, just to get that good takeout Chinese food fried rice texture. And I didn't have that or do that yesterday. I'm gonna make some up, put it on a sheet pan and pop it in my fridge for a couple hours until Josh and I are ready for our dinner tonight. It'll help dry it out the same way having some leftover rice in this recipe would be. This is gonna be a more centered fried rice. Like the veggies and the shrimp are going to be higher proportion to the rice, just to try and keep this a little bit more protein forward. So we're only making 2 servings of rice. So that's 1 cup of water I just put in my saucepan over medium-high heat. And then this is half a cup of white rice. I rinsed it thoroughly like 2 or 3 times and strained it. Stir that all together so all the rice is submerged. Once at simmer, we're gonna cover and let that cook. About an hour later, I started to get all the rest of our ingredients ready for our shrimp fried rice. I have some of the Kirkland red Argentinian shrimp from Costco. I'm doing 12 ounces of frozen shrimp, and I'm just gonna do a quick thaw on these by putting them in some cool water. And while those thaw out, I'm prepping the rest of our veggies. I have 1 large yellow onion I'm dicing. And then I'm using one of my favorite kitchen tools, my silicone garlic peeler. You pop a couple cloves inside, roll it up a bit, and that little thin shell that it's always covered in pops right off. You don't have to pick at it with your nails, which is one of my biggest pet peeves in the kitchen. And then I just minced 3 garlic cloves up real fine. Then I grabbed out a large handful of baby carrots. These ones were already washed and peeled. They're the ones I picked up at Aldi earlier today. And I gave those a rough chop. I'm also throwing in about a cup of green sweet peas. And by the time I got all the veg prepped, shrimp were thawed, and I just laid them out on a paper towel lined plate, pressed some water out with additional paper towel. You want to get these as dry as possible. That way we'll get a nice sear on them. My last item of prep before we start cooking is to whisk up 2 eggs. And I just whipped them really well until all of the whites and yolk were smooth and combined. We got our shrimp prepped, our veggies prepped, egg prepped, soy sauce, and I almost forgot our rice that has been hanging out in the fridge, drying out. And here is all of the ingredients, and Josh got home on time, so he's actually gonna cook this up on the Blackstone tonight. Smells good. And in the few minutes that Josh started cooking, I already got the kitchen cleaned up. I love our Blackstone. So much less cooking and cleaning to do at night. Looks like it came out great, babe.
Thanks.
Yum. And how my night is ending. My left knee is a little bit sore. We've had a really active few days with spring break with the kids, just being outside, going for walks, the park, we went to the beach, we did the zoo the other day. I've also been working out more on my rebounder lately, and tonight my knee was just starting to ache. So I'm taking a beat, and I have a heat pad on it, and I'm gonna take it easy the rest of the night. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, following what I eat today on my calorie deficit. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video, subscribe so don't miss out on more content coming up on my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I always do. I never think, I always do. Never thought